Okay, it's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brooklyn Brewery, and it is a bottle of their winter ale coming in at 6.1% ABV. Nice label on this one. There's the bottle cap. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. I would like to thank our channel sponsors, beersofeurope.co.uk, for sponsoring the show today. Beers of Europe have got a wonderful selection of beer from almost any part of the world. Hence, Beers of Europe. Beers from America, Sweden, Germany, Belgium, France and the UK. And many more. Check them out. But beer in the glass then. One finger. Slightly tan coloured head with loads of carbonation. I've got to show you this. Look at that. It really is a lively Brooklyn beer. It's a copper, amber, mahogany coloured beer. It's clear, no sediment. It's not hazy. Let's get my nose into this beer then. Sweet malt, musty, spicy hops, and that carbonation rising quickly up the side of the glass. You can smell that. You can almost smell the CO2 in the beer, and it smells a little bit like a lager, if you like. That CO2 rushing up and bursting on the top of the head there. I'll dive in, see what we can get. Cheers. Interesting, because it's a little tinny, and you get that CO2 and you get that carbonation. Not much bitterness at all. A tinny metallic taste. I'm quite surprised by this from Brooklyn. It's the second mouthful, there is more of a hop presence, but it's that almost kind of chemically hop taste. It's that, pardon me, almost artificial bitterness, if you like. It's slightly odd. Slightly odd. There's no real date on here. I'll just carry on tasting and trying to find a date for you. Best before October 2014. We are only in December 2013, so there's a full 10 months on this beer. So it's not that it's an old beer. It's, for me, and I've never been critical of a Brooklyn beer before, this is lacking absolutely everywhere. Lacking everywhere. It's lacking in the malty kind of sweetness, not much malt taste. It's lacking in the hop presence. It's for me, it's an artificial bitterness. It's just not much at all to this beer, and I'm very surprised, because Brooklyn, back in the 80s, started out as one of the pioneering craft breweries to come out of New York and America, and now they're growing in size, and it's almost, it's unacceptable for me, for Brooklyn, the quality of their beers, to produce a beer like this. It's not of their standard, it's not like them. It's very uncharacteristic of Brooklyn. Very, very uncharacteristic. And the more I taste this beer, the more it's starting to wind me up a little bit. Only because, is this the way? Is this how, for argument's sake, Budweiser started 100 odd years ago? They started off making good beer, they got bigger and they couldn't cope with demand, so they kind of started cutting quality in places, and then they got to the size they are now, and it's just a lager beer, and it's not craft, it's not tasty, it's not good at all. Is this where we're heading with craft beer? The fact that Brooklyn started off, they done really well, they produce good beer, they're growing in size, and then they can go, right, okay, now with this size we can start producing, we can cut back a little bit on quality. Is this where we are? I hope not. I hope not, because there's a lot of big breweries out there, big craft breweries that are growing at a rapid pace, say 60-70% growth each year. And if that keeps happening and they can't keep up with demand, is this the kind of end result, really? Is that they, for me, this is a chemical bitterness, and it's not good. It's not good. It's artificial. Enough from me. I can't really say any more about this beer. Brooklyn Winter Ale, 6.1% ABV. I will rate it though. And that for me gets a very, very poor 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. It's a nothing beer. And I hope Brooklyn are not going down this road. I really do. Because years ago, or even recently, they produced some really good beer. Okay, 3 out of 10. Thanks for watching Real Ale Craft Beer. Put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.